Hi, you're watching Express News. I'm Amritpal Singh, bringing you the top 100 news of the day in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs the Cabinet Committee on Security meeting. Today, the Prime Minister chaired a slew of cabinet meetings, including the Political Affairs Committee meeting, Economic Affairs Committee meeting, and the full cabinet meeting. Earlier on Tuesday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a high-level security meeting that was attended by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, a National Security Advisor, the Chief of Defence Staff, and the 3 Defence Services Chiefs. India has intensified the probe in the Pahalgam terror attack, in which 26 people, mostly tourists, were killed on the 22nd of April. Multiple incidents of ceasefire violation took place across the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir last night. Pakistan Army posts initiated unprovoked small arms fire across the LOC opposite the Naushera, Sundarbani and Akhnoor sectors. The unprovoked small arms firing by Pakistan Army was also reported from their posts across the line of control in Baramulla and Kupwara districts, as well as across the international border in the Pargwal sector. The process of deporting Pakistani citizens began at the Atari border today. The process started at 10 a.m. in line with the Union government's decision to revoke visas to Pakistani nationals in wake of the terror attack in Pahalgam. While police vehicles brought some Pakistani citizens living in Jammu and Kashmir to the Atari border, many Pakistani nationals reached the border themselves due to the fear of legal action by India. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar received calls from world leaders, including the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and his counterparts from 7 non-permanent member nations of the United Nations Security Council, condemning the April 22nd Pahalgam attack. India's first ever WAVE Summit is all set to open in Mumbai on the 1st of May. The event will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. At least 14 people were killed and several others suffered from burn injuries after a massive fire gripped a hotel in East India's Kolkata city on Tuesday night. President Draupadi Murmu expressed grief over the fire incident. She expressed deep condolences to the members of the bereaved families and prayed for the speedy recovery of the injured. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also condoled the loss of lives in the fire mishap and announced an ex gratia of 2 lakh Indian rupees from the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund for the next of kin of each deceased and 50,000 rupees each to injured. At least 7 people lost their lives and 4 others were injured after a 20-foot-long stretch of a makeshift structure collapsed in South India's Visakhapatnam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed grief over the loss of lives in Visakhapatnam. He also announced an ex gratia of 200,000 Indian rupees from the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund to the next of kin of each deceased, and while the injured would be given 50,000 rupees each. A major fire erupted at a factory in the industrial area of northern Indian state of Rajasthan. Fire tenders were rushed to the spot to control the blaze. An explosion occurred in an illegally set up firecracker warehouse in the Virudunagar district of Tamil Nadu. Authorities are investigating the cause of the incident. The auspicious Char Dham Yatra of Uttarakhand began on Wednesday with the opening of portals of Gangotri and Yamunotri shrine in Himalayan town of Uttarkashi this morning. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami reached the Gangotri shrine and offered prayers. He also extended greetings to devotees. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held a Janta Darbar in Gorakhpur city on Wednesday to address public grievances with a focus on women's issues and assuring swift and fair resolution of all concerns. On the birth anniversary of Guru Basaveshwara, the founder of the Lingayat tradition, India's Upper House Deputy Speaker Harivansh Narayan Singh paid floral tributes to the social reformer at the Parliament premises on Wednesday. Indian equity indices ended on a negative note on Wednesday. At the close, Sensex slipped by 46 points to settle at 80,242. Nifty 50 dropped 1.75 points to close at 24,334. Indian rupee ended 76 paisa higher at 84.49 per dollar on Wednesday. Gold futures maturing on June 5th were priced at 94,170 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for May 5th maturity stood at 94,158 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Brent crude futures fell by 1.17% to $63.50 per barrel, by US West Texas Intermediate crude futures traded at $59.63 per barrel. Asian shares opened down on Wednesday. South Korean shares fell by 3.54 points at 2,561, and Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index opened 30 points higher at 22,038. Meta Platforms announced a new standalone AI assistant for smartphones that it said will offer a new way for users to interact with its AI assistant across devices. European shares climbed on Wednesday. The Pan-European Stocks 600 index was up by 0.4%, and Germany's DAX traded at 22,526 points. The German economy grew in the first quarter of the year, escaping a recession after contracting in the last quarter of the last year. Gross domestic product rose by 0.2%. US President Donald Trump held a rally in Michigan on Tuesday to mark the first 100 days of his second term, staging his largest political event since returning to the White House. Speaking at a rally in Michigan, Trump hailed what he called the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of the country, and promised to bring back jobs to the US. Trump announced new fighter jets for the Selfridge Air National Guard Base. He said that very soon they will replace the retiring A-10 Warthogs with 21 brand new F-15EX Eagle II fighter jets. Trump also said that the next generation air dominance platform will replace Lockheed Martin's F-22 Raptor with a crewed aircraft built to enter combat alongside drones. Donald Trump signed an executive order intended to reduce the economic hit from multiple overlapping tariffs on automakers, yielding to weeks of intense lobbying from automakers, part suppliers and dealers. Speaking to reporters, Trump said that the talks with India on tariffs were coming along great, and the two countries will reach a deal soon. The United States on Tuesday imposed fresh sanctions on a network operating in Iran and China, accusing it of supplying missile fuel components to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. According to the U.S. Treasury Department, the network facilitated the transfer of materials from China to Iran that are used in the manufacturing of ballistic missile engines. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio declared on Tuesday that the time has come for Ukraine and Russia to present concrete peace proposals or risk losing U.S. mediation altogether. A Russian drone attack in Ukraine's Kharkiv injured 45 people, including 2 children and a pregnant woman, on late Tuesday night. The British military launched airstrikes with the United States targeting Yemen's Houthi rebels with their first involvement with America's new intense campaign targeting the Iranian-backed group. China's Navy conducted a patrol in the South China Sea on Tuesday, accusing the Philippines of creating disturbances and carrying out its own patrols with other countries. The leaders of Japan and the Philippines pledged in Manila to deepen security ties, including increased intelligence sharing as they grapple with territorial disputes with China. Vietnam mounted its biggest ever celebration of the fall of Saigon on its 50th anniversary on Wednesday. The day's events culminated in a grand parade in Ho Chi Minh City featuring the marching troops and an air show with Russian-made fighter jets. North Korea on Wednesday conducted its first test firing of weapon systems of the new Cho Hyun-class warship that it recently unveiled. 3 people were shot dead in the Swedish city of Uppsala on Tuesday. Police announced the launch of murder investigation in the Nordic nation, arrest 1 gunman. An Australian woman accused of murdering 3 people with a toxic mushroom-laced beef Wellington has gone on trial on Wednesday. At least 22 people were killed and 3 others injured after a fire broke out in a restaurant in Liaoyang city located in northeast China. Nigeria appointed Major General Abdul Salam Abu Bakr as its 15th commander in the fight against Boko Haram and the Islamic State West Africa province insurgency in its northeast. An evacuation of hundreds of Democratic Republic of Congo troops and the police trapped for months in UN bases in Goma after the city was taken in by M23 rebels began on Wednesday. We're heading for a short break. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.
Bharat welcomes the world to a new era of creativity. Waves World Audio-Visual and Entertainment Summit as Mumbai hosts the global stage for creativity and innovation. Connecting creators through Creatosphere, where emerging voices rise. Wave Accelerator, where ideas meet global investors. Waves Bazaar, a global marketplace for content. Connecting countries through global media dialogue and industry roundtable. Bharat Pavilion, capturing India's rich history of storytelling.
वेव्स के रूप में भारत एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म बनाने जा रहा है जिसमें दुनिया के एंटरटेनमेंट लैंडस्केप पर उसको बदलने की क्षमता होगी.
From culturals to cinema, gaming to animation, fueling the next wave of entertainment. Connecting creators, connecting countries. Waves 2025.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News, top 100 news of the day in just 30 minutes. In the United States, severe April storms whipped through the midwestern state of Missouri, damaging houses and businesses, including a small private airport on Tuesday. The National Weather Service indicated that a tornado likely touched down in Fremont Hills, located about 15 miles south of Springfield, with a wind speed reaching up to 90 miles per hour. The storms knocked down trees and left tens of thousands without power. Severe weather is expected to persist through Wednesday. In central Peru, the residents worked to clear the debris and mud left by a landslide that claimed the lives of 2 people and affected hundreds. The landslide was triggered when a developing lagoon drained into the Casca River, causing it to overflow and unexpectedly forcing residents to flee. The National Institute for Research on Glaciers and Mountain Ecosystems stated that there are some 160 lagoons with a risk of overflowing in the Ancash region. Cars were driving through thick fog after a sandstorm hit part of Iraq's Basra and Najaf on Tuesday night, causing poor visibility. According to the Basra Health Directorate, around 388 cases of suffocation were admitted to the hospital with no serious injuries. Iraq's Tigris and Euphrates rivers suffer severe droughts that endanger the livelihood of many farmers and breeders. A drastic decline in crop production also left farmers struggling to feed their animals. India Meteorological Department has forecast thunderstorms, lightning, hailstorms over east and central India to continue till the 3rd of May. Snowfall in the morning hours in Turkey upturned purple tulips, created spectacular moments in the Amasya province on Wednesday. An abandoned school in Japan has become an edutainment venue for foreign tourists who can live a day in the life of a Japanese student. The Student of the Day project began in November 2023, and the company now offers the experience around 3 to 4 times a month. More than 100 people have since taken part. Eber Lake in Turkey transformed into a flamingo wonderland as thousands of flamingos grazed at the lake. These striking birds are expected to remain in the region for about a week. Eber Lake is an important wetland ecosystem, continues to serve as a vital rest stop for numerous bird species along their migration routes. Radio Television Brunei (RTB) is hosting the Budaya Tiga Serempun 2025 in collaboration with Radio Television Malaysia and Radio Republic Indonesia from 28th April to the 2nd of May. In the Budaya Tiga Serempun, the delegation will produce dramas and poems, as well as they will visit interesting places. Acting Director of RTP Awang Kiong will take part in the event. Diamond Mind Academy Happy Mother program brought together 300 mothers for personal development training in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia. Mothers who participate in the Academy's program receive valuable knowledge and information on topics of such as self-love, family care and effective communication with their children. The Diamond Academy implemented various projects to help mothers overcome daily challenges, recognize their efforts and ignite the flame of self-confidence. The Bank of Thailand received 10 kilograms of gold from the disciples collected during the merit-making event honoring monk Luang Ta's legacy. Luang Ta's disciples affirmed their dedication to the annual contribution to the national reserves, emphasizing that these assets must remain as national reserves. The Prince and the Princess of Wales celebrated their 14th wedding anniversary during an official visit to the Isle of Mull in Scotland. William and Kate will tour the island over 2 days and visit community halls that their Royal Foundation is helping to refurbish. The red poppy anemone flowers have been spreading across the Ghab plain in Syria's Hama province, adding beauty to the scenery. The trailer of Nine Perfect Strangers starring Nicole Kidman released on Tuesday. The new season will premiere from May 21st. Nicole Kidman will receive the Women in Motion Award at the Cannes. Kidman will be the 10th recipient of the honor. Emmy Award-winning actor Ewan McGregor made his return to the stage in his new play, My Master Builder. The play was graced by various actors including James Norton and Minnie Driver. American actress Ellen Pompeo received the star on Hollywood Walk of Fame. Pompeo was joined by family co-stars and creator Shonda Rhimes at the ceremony. The trailer of actor Dwayne Johnson's upcoming film, The Smashing Machine, is out. The trailer gives a first look of Dwayne as famed UFC champion Mark Kerr. Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts held its world premiere on Hollywood Boulevard with its star-studded cast. The movie is slated to release on May 2nd. Akshay Kumar's next installment of Houseful franchisee, Houseful 5, has begun its promotion with dropping the teaser. The movie is scheduled to release on the 6th of June. Writer Nikhil Mehrotra, best known for his films like Dangal, turns director for his upcoming venture. Nikhil will mark his directorial debut in the film led by actress Mona Singh. Actor Amir Khan postponed the trailer launch of Sitare Zameen Par following Pahalgam attacks. The delay was done as a gesture of respect for the victims and their families. Ajay Devgan's upcoming film Raid 2 is off to a good start in advance bookings. The film has crossed more than 3 crores in pre-sales. Indian women's cricket team beat South Africa by 15 runs to notch up their second successive win at ODI Tri-Series on Tuesday. Harmanpreet Kaur-led India have been fined 5% of their match fee for maintaining a slow over rate during their opening match against Sri Lanka. Kolkata Knight Riders defeated Delhi Capital by 14 runs, completing a sensational turnaround in a high-scoring Indian Premier League clash on Tuesday. Struggling Chennai Super Kings face formidable Punjab Kings in the Indian Premier League on Wednesday. Cricket Kenya is all set to start its own franchisee-based league CK T20 in September to revive the passion for the sport in the country. The Olympic Council of Asia has confirmed the inclusion of cricket in the Asian Games 2026 to be held in Japan. Paris Saint-Germain seized the advantage in its Champions League semi-final against Arsenal as Dembele sealed a 1-0 win in the first leg on Tuesday. Inter Milan is set to face Barcelona in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final on Thursday. In the Madrid Open, Ariana Sabalenka cruised into the quarterfinals on Tuesday following straight sets win over Peyton Stearns. Defending champion Iga Swiatek reached her 5th WTA 1000 quarterfinal of the season with a victory over Diana Schneider. In the men's singles, Casper Ruud claimed a straight sets win over third seed Taylor Fritz in their last 16 match on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Francisco Cerundolo stunned top seed and German world number 2 Alexander Zverev. Six-time champion Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from this year's Italian Open in a blow into his French Open preparations. In badminton, former champions Indonesia marched on to the Sudirman Cup quarterfinals with a 4-1 win over India in Group D. In another Group D match, Denmark routed England 5-0 to reach the quarterfinals of the tournament. That's it in this Express News. Thank you very much for watching.